I'm so gassed to be a friend now.
I'm gassed you here too, girl.
We ready?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We're here with Molly, a fellow stripper. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You've come all the way to Essex from Bournemouth today.
Yes, I have.
Did you have a good trip? Was it all good?
Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah.
One stop for fuel.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we're all good.
So you're kind of new to the industry.
Yes.
You didn't do the job when the days were good. You've got the shit of it.
Yeah. So I started 2 days after my 18th birthday.
So you knew you wanted to be a stripper. You
Yeah,
knew
from
that.
about 14. Well, funny enough, I used to babysit for a stripper.
Okay.
And she tried to keep it a massive secret from me. And then it was funny
how
enough.
Did you find out?
Funny enough, one day, she was going to work in her pyjamas at 9 o'clock at night. She was getting fined if she was being late and falling asleep. And then she'd ask her manager if she could pay to go early. And I was just sort of I was getting the hint. And then one day she asked me to go in her work bag for her to get something. And I found the shoes. And then I just got invested. And then I was invested.
Shoes.
It's always the shoes.
It's always the shoes. The second I see those shoes, I'm like, I know what you're doing.
I know what you'll be up to.
And from about 14, I was like, I'm going to give it a go.
So 14, you're at school.
Yeah.
Did you do all your GCSEs, move on to college, university, any of that?
I did. So I got my GCSEs and then I did college for a year and a half.
What did you do?
Business.
Oh, you're a business girl.
Supposedly. So yeah, I did my business for a year and a half. I still got all the qualifications. And then...
I'll be real, more time, when I hear someone's a dancer, I don't... The well spoken, it's more... How do I put it? Especially, I would say, on a black side of it, it's more get over hood. On the white side of it, more chavvy. She's real, soft, well spoken, seems innocent, not really out there. So it'd be interesting to see, when she's in the job.
100%.
When she's shaking it.
Come April last year, 2 days after my birthday, I was like, let's give it a go.
Did you just turn up? Did you apply online?
Luckily, I knew a girl who had danced for 15 years, I think.
Oh, you know a veteran.
I did indeed. And she was like, come with me, give it a go. So we went in on a Thursday, obviously quiet. And we sat there the whole time. Luckily, it was dead.
Let me pause you. Quiet for your area in Bournemouth. But Thursdays in London are better than Friday and Saturday.
Okay. So yeah, there was, I think we did 10 till 2:30. Obviously, it normally shuts at 4. But there'd been 2 customers all night. So we were like, oh, we're going to go.
This was your first shift?
This was my
2
first
customers.
shift. Yeah. And we didn't go over to them. They'd come in for other girls. And then it got to the Friday where we open at 9. So we turned up about 9:45 and it was busy. Every table was full and I was like, oh my goodness. She was like, come on, we're going to a customer. I was like, no. And anyway, she dragged me over and we sat down with these 2 men who lived in Dubai.
Girl, I know you like a bit of Dubai.
Wow, the thing with Dubai is everywhere is a potential sprinkle moment. The men out there, their moral code is really good. So they want to treat you. They want to take you to all these places and they want to fine dine. Everyone's got money in Dubai. There's no brokies, no Nike techies. Everyone's got money.
You need to get with a program around here.
Right? You need to get with it. So it's more of a in-person thing. If you dress up nice, you go to the right bars or the right restaurants, you'll find some queen.
Right, so that's why you won't get your house out there.
Where the money at?
Where the money at? That is the Miami of the Eastern world,
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like Edgware Road.
Oh, no.
The Dubai of the UK.
Oh, no. Our Ford Fiesta is their Lambo.
Okay.
God damn.
And they were lovely. And then I did my first dance ever. It was a double.
Was it?
It was a double. So the whole time I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm just checking. Am I doing the right thing?
So you was with your friend and
doing
you was
a double
dancing
dance
together and you was kind of watching what she was doing.
Yeah. And then I picked it up. And then from then on, I did... Yeah, it was good.
Did she tell you any pointers before you got there, dance-wise? You should dance like this, or did you just sort of know what you were doing?
Well, I danced ballet, tap, jazz and everything for 15 years.
This is a different dance,
of
baby
course.
Girl.
Sorry.
Different dance.
Can you imagine sending your child to ballet and then a couple years later she's like, I'm a stripper.
I'm a shake.
That was not the path I put you on, babe.
I was expecting you to be in tutu.
Do you get it?
So I had rhythm,
Uh-huh.
but with regards to actually what to do, it was kind of just she just said be sexy.
Right. And
So
you was
I
like,
was
okay,
like-
I got that.
Yeah, and then I just kind of followed and got my own swing of things
Do you
later on
feel
in the
like
night.
if you look back at your first dance, you'd think, yeah, that was quite good actually.
No, I think it's terrible.
It can't be worse than mine. My first dance, I danced like Shakira from a music video.
Oh my goodness.
Shakira.
My second
For
dance
real.
was Let It
I thought
Go.
I was Shakira. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just do all of this.
Yeah, my second dance, that was a 12-minute as well. My
Your
first dance was a 12-minute.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so obviously that, and I was like, it actually went really quickly. I was like, obviously you think 12 minutes, 4 songs, that's ages. But obviously when you do it
I
with
couldn't
another
think of anything
person,
worse.
I don't do them now.
And yes, we're gonna get to that
often.
because you've learned the art.
I've
in
learned
this
the art.
game. Uh-huh.
So yeah, and then my second dance was just a 3-minute to Let It Go from Frozen.
You're doing what to Frozen? Did you hear what I heard? Did you hear what I heard? Hold on. You did what? To Frozen.
Saying you let that money go. Let that money go.
Oh my goodness,
wow.
poor babes.
12
Poor
minutes.
babes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
And this is your Bournemouth club playing these
This is
songs.
my Bournemouth club.
We need to get ready your DJ.
Oh, he's a computer.
Yeah, fires.
He's
Don't even
A-list.
have a DJ.
We did for 6 weeks,
Uh-huh.
and then apparently the club's not busy enough to warrant having a DJ.
Oh right, okay, fine,
So-
fine. How long did you do dances for until you learned you don't actually have to dance to be a stripper? Confrontational, I know, but very true.
Well, I think in my club it's different because obviously you have your single dances, then you jump to a 12-minute, and then you jump to a 20-minute VIP. So I've learnt the art of now, like my first ever 20-minute I did was my first night,
Yeah.
and I danced the entire thing. It's a sit
The
down.
whole 20 minutes?
It's a private booth. Yeah, the waitress come in like from the beginning, like the whole 20 minutes I was dancing. So
Girl.
worst
I
mistake
think that we
ever.
all start there, and then was it other girls who told you don't have to do that, or was it more you saw them not having to do that, or how did you know that you didn't actually need to do that?
Well, funnily enough, the man that watches the cameras, so my first night I did 20 minutes, and on the second one he came in and he was like, you don't actually have to dance like the whole thing. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay then. And then obviously with practice and stuff now, I just talk.
Yeah.
And it gets to about 18 minutes and I look and I'm like, okay, I'll give you a dance now. And then obviously I find that helps because obviously you dance for 2 minutes and then they're like, oh my gosh, like you haven't even got your top off. Let's
Yeah.
go again. And then obviously, because you're still clothed, they're like, the waitress will bring the like card reader in or they'll give you the cash. And then you talk again. And then before you know it, you've spent like an hour
Of
in just
course.
in the 20-minute room.
I mean, that is you're getting to the real art now.
Yeah, I'm getting there
You're
slowly.
there. You're getting there.
You can see the excitement on Saf's face right now.
Yeah,
she's like,
she's
we're
like,
getting to what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that for me it was, and I know that it's not my interview, but let me just
No, of course.
let me give you
Go
some
ahead.
feedback. For me it was I was taught by older girls. So when I was young, I met girls who were like 40 years old.
Yeah.
They'd seen the real money because this
Yeah.
is going back nearly a decade now, and they'd seen the real money. These girls knew what they was doing. So it's like you get to a point where the dance is like, how dare you ask me for a dance?
Yeah.
Yes, you might be in a strip club, but I ain't stripping for you. Are you mad?
Yeah.
Like it does finally
It works.
become that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes what I tend to do as well, if I've got a customer who's very persistent on the dance part, I'll find a girl who doesn't have any chat.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to talk. She doesn't know how to hustle or make money.
Yeah.
And I'll go, come on, babe, come in with me. So she's doing all the dancing, and then I'm here in his ear, right, babe, why don't you just tip us 2-3 grand each?
Yeah.
And because he's so distracted, he does it, doesn't he?
No, exactly.
And then, but this is where you're getting to, right? You're
But
getting
that's
there.
the thing. It took me a while to learn. Obviously, like when I went in there originally, I was like, oh my gosh, well, these girls are going to be stick skinny, big fake boobs, big
Oh, so you was
bum.
worried about appearances.
I was terrified. I was
Okay.
worried like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to look right. And obviously confidence, it was like, oh, okay, I'll fake it till I make it. And then
Yeah.
I've made it. And now it took me a few months, but now I've learned, obviously, it's not how you look, it's not what you're wearing, it's not the size of your heels, it's how you talk.
100%.
And if you can sell it right, then before you know it, you're laughing.
I can't lie. For me, I'll be real. It is nice to hear the fact that like she's come to a point and realised that it doesn't matter what skin she is, how she looks or whatnot. It's literally about the personality of it and realising that she don't have to do too much to actually just be herself and make her money. And I feel like that's a big... I feel like with the sex industry and all of them things in general, one thing, a lot of them people, they have a good person, like their personality and their chat and all of that stuff, and realising from how they're talking, that's actually kind of one of the main kind of things. And
I think it's really hard because everyone's so focused on appearances these days as well. Like, you feel like you've got to look a certain way, and especially when there's like these stereotypes, you think, oh, well, I don't have the biggest tits, or I don't have the skinniest waist, so it's easy to feel like insecure and kind of like in competition with all these females. But if you got the chat, and you know what you're doing, you know how to, you're good.
You're good.
It's not always about the appearance, your personality can make you go from like a 6 to a 10,
Straight. And she's really pretty as well, so I don't even know
100%.
why she was feeling any type of way.
No, she's gorgeous, for real.
Give one smile and you're getting the money, getting back.
Queen.
Do you do the girlfriend vibe or the friend vibe when you approach customers? What's your take?
I probably tend to go with the girlfriend.
Okay, I see that for
because
you.
I feel like, personally, the way it's worked for me, it works better for me to attract a regular.
Okay.
Because obviously, if I go in with the whole, I really like you, like blah, 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 and then they're like, oh, can I see you outside of the club? I'm like, the way I do it is I'm like, oh, I just have really bad trust issues. Like, if you come back in and we can get to know each other a bit more where I'm safer in my place of work, and I just tend to go with the girlfriend vibe. It sounds really cruel.
No, it doesn't. I'm actually really jealous of you because when I was trying out different techniques, and you will try different techniques, I never mastered the girlfriend vibe. So I always thought, wow, because I can never get return customers. This is one thing I can't. I will take all your fucking money now and you'll never want to see me again. And that is just how I've decided to work.
Yeah.
So when I see girls have repeat regulars, I'm like, wow, how does this girl do it?
No, exactly.
But then I go in more of a friend vibe, like we're pals,
Party.
you're spending this money, because I always say to this, like, if you went on a night out, you're going to spend X amount on a table in a fancy club.
No,
it's the
exactly.
same process.
Exactly.
And they forget they're even paying for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But congrats to you for getting return
Thank
customers.
you.
That's a hard thing to get. I don't think I've got the patience for it.
It is tricky.
I just hate men so much that I just
No.
want to take for you for all you got and then never fucking see you again.
No, that's the thing. I have been a therapist at some points.
Yeah, I think we've all been therapists.
You just have to sit there and take it.
Have they told you about their wives?
Yeah, I've once had a guy who got a flight over from...
I actually have to give it up to the strippers because patience is actually a virtue.
It's a virtue,
and
for sure.
Patience is something I don't have. If you're talking too much, I'm like, okay, let me just go over there. But it's like, no,
Cash,
you got the bag.
Right, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's
Actually,
definitely an art that she learned,
literally,
which came in useful.
I rate it. Because being a therapist, I've got enough issues. Be my therapist, please.
over from, is it Guernsey? Somewhere.
Guernsey?
God knows where. He came in on his own and everything, and he just started, me and my friend went over because it was so dead. We were like, okay, we'll try together. Like, she's my bestest
Why
friend.
not? Yeah.
And he just poured his heart out about how he just basically left his wife and his kids, got on a plane. She called him as he was literally taking off, and he was like, sorry, I need time away. And then there he was. And then he came back in for 5 days.
So he came back to see you guys for 5 days straight?
Yeah.
That is
He kept
amazing.
coming back in. But yeah, he did actually ask if we had any...
Props to being a therapist. Yeah, well, 5 days. Period, sis, period.
Sometimes it's better to be on the other side.
But yeah, he did actually ask if we had any bigger girls. He was like, you're not big enough for me.
Oh, that's
And I was
fetish.
like, oh, right, okay. But obviously we worked it anyway. And it worked. And then he came back in again.
Over
and
the
again
whole
and again.
5 days, how much money did you get?
He was doing singles. So obviously it's 20, but who charges 20? But he'd do at least like 10 a night. So obviously, yes, it's not great, but when it's quiet, obviously you're up like, what, by the time fees and whatnot, like 350 quid.
Yeah.
And then obviously like over 5 days, obviously, the way I like to think, obviously, because I haven't seen like the big money, I think anything's a bonus at this point. Like, even if I was to, like, obviously it's not 100%, but if you make like 200 quid, it's like some people don't even make that over like 2 days.
Well, let me tell you something that you might agree of, or I don't know. You might think,
Try
oh, no,
me.
you're wrong. I didn't realise how little a real wage was. So I will get the arse ache if I make £400 or £500.
I do have a tantrum.
Shit. Like this, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna get a real job.
Yeah.
And then when people tell me like that, no, you're not gonna make
that's
that
the
a
thing.
real job.
It's like when they say to me like, oh, how much is a dance? And obviously, you know, I always say minimum 40.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, that's like 4.5 hours work for me. And I'm
No.
like, that's 3 minutes work for me. Like, but honestly, like sometimes it's like when it's so quiet, it's just like you've got to take the 20 quid. You just got to take it.
So one thing, and I feel like a lot of girls in the industry will say about me, and it is, I probably shouldn't do this, but I feel because I've been in it so long,
yeah,
I am offended if someone offers me dance money. I am only a VIP girl.
Yeah.
So I would actually rather take the loss, take the whole loss, so sit there and earn nothing. Rather than go and do a dance.
No, I get you.
How do you feel about me saying that?
Fair play.
Okay, so you don't think like, oh sis, you're fucking up your money.
No, I think obviously we work in very different clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, mine's a seaside town, like mine's a seasonal club, so it's like stag groups, which I personally think are the worst. I think stag groups are awful.
Awful, so awful.
Like if they come in now, I'm like, don't come over.
I'm only here for a drink. I'm only here because it's a stag. I don't even want to dance. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that.
Literally.
Don't want to buy you a drink. Like,
No, exactly.
Go away.
So it's like obviously where like if I was to work in more of like a city sort of club, obviously you're more prone to VIPs. Like my club in Reading is always VIPs. So like I did never really do singles. But obviously when you're working obviously 50 minutes away from home for the convenience, obviously I find each club is different. Like my Bournemouth club is a single dance club only, like mini VIPs. Obviously the VIP prices there are ridiculous.
How much is the VIP prices?
So you can do a 20-minute VIP, which is like a semi-private room, like there's curtains in between the booths. Obviously you're allowed drinks in there. Obviously a waitress comes in. That is on cash it's 120, but there's a trick. And then card is 145. But so you would get 80 of that, or you'd get 68 on card. But the way I like to sell it is there's something called the £100 tip. So I say, well, already instead of 120, I charge 140, so I'm getting a minimum of 100 for that 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
And then on card, I charge 240 cash, so you'd get 200, and I sell it as basically as you go into the 20-minute room, there's a left side and a right side. If you do the 240, I can sit you on the left side where the cameras are angled slightly to the back of me. I learned that from my best friend. So the cameras are angled slightly to the back of me, so I can get more naughtier, be more filthier.
Okay, so that's
obviously it's all the same.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. So that's 240 cash or 265 card, and then you go up to your half an hour. Obviously they do it by the half an hour, so it's, you can charge what you want. So you do a minimum of 300, but it's actually slightly different. I'll do my Southampton club. It's 300 for half an hour, but then you have to match whatever you're paying the dancer to the club. So say for example, I charge 600.
This is in Reading.
No, this is Southampton.
Oh, this is Southampton.
Yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you've got a lot of clubs going on.
So in Southampton, so say for example, I charge 600 for half an hour. They pay 1,200
because you need to match
they're paying the club. Yeah, so they pay like a room charge is how they sell it. And then in Bournemouth, it's a champagne charge. So anything from like if you're charging like between 300 and like 500, they buy like an £180 bottle of champagne. Anything like 500 to 800 is like a 350 bottle of champagne, and then it goes up like that.
And then you're trying to match it all the time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, but my Reading club, I find I sell VIPs better because every 15 minutes is 150 cash or card.
Reading, is this Medusa?
Yeah. So I personally find, obviously, I think it helps having the cash point in there because obviously everyone loves cash. It's just easier.
Yeah.
But obviously every 15 minutes they do 150. And what I find about Medusa and Reading is people actually go in there for a dance.
So you like Medusa?
I've not had a bad experience with it. I just don't like the fluffy carpet.
I hated Medusa.
Really?
Me and my best friend in the whole entire world, we went there and I'll cut the shit. I've been fired from every single club you can ever imagine. Okay. All over.
Right.
And I don't understand why, because I consistently make money.
Yeah.
But I'm loud and I do what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for nearly 10 years.
Yeah,
You can't
you
tell
know
me
your shit.
nothing. Like, I'm sorry. So because I'm like no more than the management does,
Yeah.
they just want to get rid of me. So me and my friend, we rolled into Reading. We went to work there. And it was good. It was busy. It was making money.
Yeah.
And then there was this guy and he wanted to give us big money, so like 5 each.
Yeah.
And the club was being arsy about it, I was going to try and charge it back, this, that and the other, da. They was being hard work with us. They would have done it for other girls.
Right,
it was
okay.
literally
'Cause
principle.
you were new.
Like, because we was new, they didn't want to do it, didn't trust us, whatever. And I thought, you know what, you're not fucking up my money. I'm from Essex. I've come all the way to your club.
Yeah.
This geezer wants to give us some money. So me and my friend went into change room. We was like, give us our money now.
Yeah.
Give us our money. And then we just walked out with the customer in our hands. We got him to give us the money and we just went casino. Because it's like, I'm not being funny, babe.
Yeah.
If I was a club owner and you've got girls who are like, cool, like this is great money, why are you going to say no?
Exactly.
Because
That's
you
what I
don't like
think.
our attitude.
Yeah.
That is really what it was.
Don't like that.
I know. So I'm like,
It's
how do you
ridiculous.
get along there? I don't understand.
I've only been there
I have to go back in disguise.
like 20 times,
Okay.
roughly. I found it was quite clicky though.
I mean, I don't even see that in clubs. I don't see clickiness, and we
Yeah.
don't talk about hierarchy and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I don't see the clickiness, so maybe it was that. Maybe the groups of girls were like, oh no, we don't like them too.
Well, there was one group that was definitely proper, like in with the waitresses, in
Okay.
with the managers, like going on holidays together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like New
They was
Year's
really
abroad
close.
together and stuff. So yeah, but obviously it's just like finding, everyone finds little
At
cracks
your
in the
home
paper.
club, so the
Yeah.
club you're at the most, is there cliques there?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's cliques. You can definitely obviously if you can read a room, you're going to walk in and you're going to see their friends, and their it's not clicky though. Like I obviously, not to sound bitchy, but when I work in my home club, when I'm allowed there, I stick with my best friend Georgia. And we always try to match each other. So if she's like, I've just done this, I will then go out and do it. And then we always try to match each other. Like we're really good at we work well going over as a pair to a pair. And then we get them in together. And obviously if my one's not as keen as her one, then she'll help me. And then it's like vice versa.
Yeah, I think this is a standard.
So yeah, so she's like, but I don't class anyone else as my friend.
Okay,
like,
so it's just you and your girl.
Yeah, like the other girls would all mingle. Like obviously I'll be polite to everyone. I'll say hello. Like if someone's struggling, I'll be like, oh, like babe, come over here. Like he wants to dance with you. Obviously all those girls sort of are friendly with each other. But realistically, I'm in my own lane with Georgia next to me, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's very clicky, but
You said when you're allowed to go there.
At the moment,
What did you mean by that?
at the moment it's pending. So
You got a case. She's
I
got a case.
No, it was really very, very, very strange. Obviously, so this was the club I first ever worked at. It's where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah,
obviously,
you say it's your home club.
Yeah, obviously, yes, sometimes it's shit and I'm pulling my hair out. Like, I'm already, obviously, as soon as you walk in, you're paying your house fee, so you're already at minus. So it's obviously, sometimes you're pulling your hair out, like, oh my gosh, like, where are the customers? Like, we need to make money. But obviously, I'm so comfortable there that it's I used to do, before... I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, you were
I was
doing
when I first got in there. Obviously, you get money hungry, and obviously, yes, it's not what you would have seen 10 years ago. But obviously, for me, it's obviously in the beginning as a baby stripper, it was £300-400 a night. I was laughing. I was like, oh my goodness. So obviously, I've worked there for ages, and then I started messaging my manager please can I work? Please can I work? And I was getting ignored. And
This was how long ago?
about 6 weeks ago.
Oh,
This is new.
you was getting ignored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who turns girls down? Bearing in mind, it's been so, prior to this, it's been so quiet because, with girls, because the club's been so quiet that there's
they
been
need girls.
there's been 4 or 5 girls on a Friday,
They
Saturday
generally
night.
don't deny more house fees.
No.
The more house fees, the better for the club.
Exactly. So I booked to work a Thursday, but I was just, when you feel really run down, you need an early night, you feel ill. I had a chest infection. I was like, I can't be up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I messaged him please can I swap to tomorrow? Obviously it's Friday. This would have been the 23rd. So I was going to work the Friday night, no, 22nd, sorry, work the Friday night, have the Saturday off, and then Christmas Eve was on the Sunday. So I was like, that's my day to sort of prep for Christmas.
Yeah.
So obviously I was like, can I swap to the Friday? got ignored. I was like, obviously, I'm going. I got ready to go in at 9. Left at like 8:30, 7:45, or because obviously, like you think, obviously, I didn't want him to think like, obviously, she swapped her shift and now she's not turning
And now
up.
she's not even coming. Yeah.
So obviously, I've gone in and whatnot. 9:00's fine. The manager, there's 2 managers. I didn't know. So yeah, so one of everyone's upstairs. I've come up and I've sat down on the table I always sit out because obviously my club is table service. So you can't go over to a customer until they've been served and paid for their drink.
Right. So it's not like London when as soon as that customer walks through the door,
free for
you
all.
are running.
Yeah, you're not allowed. You're not allowed.
It's not like that.
No. So I've sat at my table because the club comes down steps. So when you see people come down the steps, obviously the manager goes out anyway to do their entry. Obviously you jump up, but that's another story we'll talk about in a sec, jumping up. So I'm sat there waiting. Georgia wasn't there, so I was just mingling with the other girls, like catching up and whatnot, seeing how it had been recently because I wasn't in. And the waitress, or manageress in her eyes, she had come over to like gossip about something. Like she is.
Is she
big.
the house mum?
No,
this is
she is literally there to serve drinks and like.
But she's a busy
money.
She thinks she.
But she thinks she likes to own the place. She just she gets under my skin. She always complains about gossip. Like her and the other waitress have had argument upon argument, like always getting at each other. And then she will cry to everyone else, all the dancers around the club, like she's so horrible to me. She won't stop gossiping about me. It's like, hang on a sec, like all the gossip and like you're a waitress, you stay that side of the bar and we'll stay this side of the bar.
Yeah, it's different.
Like you moan about gossip and everything, but realistically, it's always at the crux of you. Everything always stems back to you. So obviously she's come over to me to like say some gossip or whatever, and then the manager had called her over. Bear in mind, this wasn't the manager that was ignoring me, this was the other one. And then he's come over to me and he's gone, Maisie, can I speak to you quickly? And I was like, yeah, like that's fine. Pulled me to a corner, bear in mind no one's in the club, it's only like 9:15. And he's gone, you're not booked in? And I swapped my shift with the other manager. Obviously I didn't want it to look like I'd swapped my shift and not turned up, so obviously I'm here, like I'm ready to work. And he was like, yeah, but you and the other dancer aren't working together anymore.
Right.
And I went, what? And he went,
you and this other girl that works in your club, he's told you you're not working together anymore.
Yeah. So I've gone, what? And he's gone, yeah, the other manager's just said that you two, like she's refusing to work with you, so like you're not working together. And I was like, well, when was this? And he goes, I don't even know. So-and-so's just said it, so I'm just passing on the message. He's just checked the cameras and he's just texted me. And I was like, so what then? And he was like, and I was like, towards like the door to go downstairs to get changed. And I was like, what, you're sending me home? And he went, I'm really sorry, it's not me, it's the other manager. He's saying you've got to go. So I've obviously gone downstairs, jumped on FaceTime to Georgia, like, oh my goodness, I've just been sent home. Like, oh my goodness, what do I do? And she was like, oh my goodness, make sure you tell the owner. So I've come out and I've sat in my car. Obviously, I'm like raging at how, like, this girl, I don't particularly like for, like, various reasons. It's, like, not petty. Like, it's obviously serious stuff but obviously I'm always nice to her, always get on. You know, if she's sat at the bar not doing anything, I'll always be like, oh, babe, like, he wants to dance with you. Like, I'll always be friendly. Like, at the end of the day, we're all there to work, we're all there to make money. So I've sat in my car and I've messaged the owner because he owns both Bournemouth and Southampton. And I was like, hey, is there any chance I can drive up to Southampton now? Like, I've just been sent home because I was unaware a dancer was refusing to work with me. He was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I was like, okay, like, I'll be as quick as I can. It'll be half an hour. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'll be in as quick as I can. Anyway, he's ended up coming in. He's gone on a night out in Southampton and has come in. And I was like, obviously I saw him and I was like, oh my goodness, like, you're my knight in shining armour. I didn't have it. This was my last night. I wanted to work tonight. And without, like, you, I wouldn't have had anywhere to work.
To go, yeah.
And he was like, right, what's going on? And I explained, obviously, the situations, obviously, things that have happened outside of work that obviously have happened. And he was like, right, let me get to the bottom of this. I need to speak to the manager. He was like, and we're going to arrange a meeting. He was like, I don't understand. He was like, how many girls were there tonight? And I went, well, there was 4, but sending me home was 3. He was like, so when the manager...
You only had 4 girls there.
And I got sent home.
Where's your club?
Bournemouth.
I'm coming. There's 4 girls there. Let's go.
So...
I'll eat all you bitches.
Don't. try. So obviously I then had to go from a club that could have been potentially really good because there was 4 girls, and obviously I get really money hungry, like I'm there to work, I'm gonna make my money. I've gone from a club with 4 girls to a club of 15 girls. So obviously it was busy there anyway, it worked out better. But he was like, so when the manager sends me a rota tomorrow and I see 4 girls but your name's crossed out, he's going to have to explain to me why he sent you home. And I was just like, well, yeah, I think it's ridiculous, really. He was like, he was really angry. He was like, I'm not letting another dancer, especially one that doesn't make me any money.
Upset for you.
Yeah, he was like, especially one that doesn't really make me any money, I'm not going to let another dancer dictate whether, like, who can and can't work. He was like, not to blow smoke up your ass, but men come into the club for girls like you. He went, obviously, you know, you always make me money. I'm always hearing good things about you. He was like, this is ridiculous. He was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. So I've been having to work in Southampton, which is obviously, I don't mind it, but obviously I'm having to drive.
Yeah, it's like more travel for you.
Yeah, it's more
not
travel.
Home club.
Yeah, and with obviously because Bournemouth is particularly quiet compared to Southampton, if you work a weeknight, you have no house fee. Monday to Wednesday, you get 3 free dances, so they don't take commission off your single dances for 3 of them. And
yeah, you prefer to be there.
Yeah,
you've got this drama now. So what happened after the drama?
I'm still waiting.
So you don't.
I'm still waiting for this meeting. I just can't book in Bournemouth at all.
So you're at Southampton. That's where you're staying
for the moment.
Okay, so have you reached out to this girl on a personal thing? Like, what's your problem with me?
Well, funnily enough, she has an OnlyFans Instagram.
Okay.
And I'd obviously followed it from previous, but I didn't realise I was still following it. She's blocked me on everything else. Mm-hmm. So I'm just scrolling through Instagram stories as you skip through, and there she was on this promoting her OnlyFans. It was back up and running, but it was literally nowhere. It was like 30 seconds ago. And I was like, no way. I was like, I'm obviously going to be the first person to view this. So she'd messaged me, talking about how I'm on follow back, ha ha ha, it's so funny, blah 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 blah. And she must have overheard that we had a nickname for her.
Right.
Which sounds really horrible, but we called her Hippo.
Okay.
Because she just, you know when someone just reminds you of something? It's just like, I just look at her and I think, Hippo.
Okay.
So me and my friend had actually come up with that together. It was a joint effort. Anyway, so she was like, and in English she was like,
you know, that's one thing I couldn't take, you know, is being in the industry with so many females and knowing the cattiness and knowing that there might be a name for me behind my back.
Yeah, that nickname that you don't know of.
Hippo. She said sometimes when people just remind you.
She said what she said.
It was a joint effort.
Oh my goodness.
Love from Hippo. So she was like, and at the end of it, she was like, love from Hippo. So I just, obviously, being me, like, I don't do this whole texting over the argument. Like, I'd rather, if you've got, what's on my lung is on my tongue. So if you've got a problem with me, I'd rather you come up to me and just say it, because I'll happily, like, you know, we don't need to get aggressive, we don't need to shout, we'll just talk, like, get to the bottom of things. So I just put, I'll talk to you in the meeting, chick. And then she's just going on and on, and I can't even remember now, it was just streams of messages and stuff. Because the thing, I got to the bottom of it a little bit, where he said he's found out a little bit, the owner did. Apparently I had contacted her family, all of her family, she said, saying that she was on adult work escorting.
And this is allegedly you who's done this?
Yeah, I've allegedly called, texted all her family.
What on earth would you get out of doing that?
Well, this is what I mean. Obviously, I'm not against it, we're all in the same industry.
Molly, did you do it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. But the funny thing is, I'd heard from, so when the owner had told me this in Southampton, I was like, it's funny you say that, because I heard from her sister, who I actually get along with really well, a couple of weeks ago, that I had texted her mum saying that she's an escort. I was like, I don't even know who her mum is. I was like, so one minute I'm calling everyone in her family, her brother, her sister, her mum, her dad, and then suddenly I'm only texting her mum. I was like, so I turned around to her and I was like, if you're going to lie properly and stick to it, because now, if anything, you shot yourself in the foot, because obviously if you're a stripper, you can't escort. I don't know what your club's like, but we can't do both at the same time.
It's illegal, babe.
Yeah,
it's illegal.
Okay, I did think so. She shot herself in the foot because now the owner's going through adult work trying to find her. So if anyone's going to get fired, it's going to be you.
So adult work is, for people that don't know, a website where you can webcam, but you can also offer services.
Yeah.
So is she on there as all of that, or just the webcam part?
I have no idea.
Your opinion on, you think girls do escort as well as strip?
What, doing it at the same time?
In your club?
Oh. There's definitely a couple.
Okay.
But obviously I'm never going to be one to take money away from another girl. So if you're comfortable with that and you can do it knowing that you're not going to get caught, go for it, I think, personally.
What's your opinion on escorts?
If you're confident. I feel like
I feel like it's a confidence thing.
Well, I don't know. I feel like obviously anything within like the sex work industry, obviously like my mum said to me, she was like, as soon as I said I'm going to be a stripper, she was like, if you've got the confidence, go for it. Like that's something I could never do.
But I do think that working in the clubs is one thing.
Yeah.
And
but then,
being an escort is an entirely
100%.
different thing.
I feel like it's risky. I personally would never do it just because I wouldn't feel safe.
Okay, so you just wouldn't do it because you don't feel safe?
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do it because I don't want to be a hoe, so...
No, that's true. I didn't want to be rude.
Baby girl, we're on Illegally Blonde!
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't, no.
You said there was an issue with running, jumping, something like that?
Running?
We were talking about in the club, girls jumping.
Yeah, so with, obviously,
to do
in
with
my
this girl?
clubs... No, so this is like, obviously, our managers have favourites. But the favourites change.
Nice.
The favourites change every shift. You could be his favourite today.
I'm
But
never
it could be his you could be hated tomorrow. So obviously with table service, it's like you can't go over to a customer until they've been served and paid for their drink. So obviously what we do is we all like jump up. So it's like so that other girls know like we are going to go over to them. And recently, he's only been picking on a few of us because some girls are allowed to jump up and run over there. But, oh, God forbid, if I did it, I'm in trouble. And he'll come over, like, if the customer's sat at their table here and we're just stood up, like, obviously, you know, like, for example, me and George will be having a chit-chat, like, getting ready to go. He'll come over and he'll scream, oh, sit back down. Like, he goes mental and it's
But
like...
if it's someone else, he won't say that.
Yeah, no, it's very... He picks and chooses. So it's like, on a Friday night, he could be hot on it, like, telling everyone to sit back down. But on a Saturday night, it's kind of like jump up free for all, like, go at it. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's so much chopping and changing. And this is what we keep saying to the owner. Obviously, there's something going wrong in Bournemouth because your Southampton club is doing so well. So he's offered
You voiced that opinion.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Well, I turned around to him and I said, something is going very seriously wrong in Bournemouth for me to come up on a Wednesday night and make 800-900 in Southampton, but the girls are making 20-30 quid
here
in Bournemouth. I said, something's not going right. So he's coming down to work in Bournemouth to sort it out, basically, because he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's like, I need to come and see, like, what shit show is being ran here, because never in my life has my club been this bad. Like, it just keeps going downhill. So, and obviously we keep saying to him, like, obviously 1 minute it's one rule for one rule for another.
Yeah.
Or one rule one night or one rule another night. So it's like, and he's like, no, there needs to be consistency because otherwise it's not working. You girls don't know where you stand. And he even turned around to me in Southampton when we were having this conversation and said, you girls are literally like gold dust to me. He went, without you I wouldn't have a club.
So you and your friend are, you'd say, the top girls? Let's not beat around the bush. There is such thing as this. You walk into the club, you know who's the top girls.
Thanks to her, yeah. I got in with her. I
that's
learned,
lovely.
obviously, so my friend...
You're so
funnily
cute.
enough,
You're too cute for this job. You are.
Funnily enough, the girl that actually got me into it, I don't speak to anymore.
Okay.
She actually did get found out. I didn't know it when I was friends with her. Got found out to be on adult work, so they dismissed her. But she introduced me to my bestest friend Georgia, who literally took me under her wing and was like, right, you're coming with me. This is how you do it. This is how you get it done. And this is how you walk away with a heavy purse at the end of the night. And thanks to her, I've got the most random things that I could say to make you have a dance. I can just... She's taught me how to talk. So, and obviously I've learned realistically how to give a good dance from her as well.
Her name's Georgia.
Yeah.
You need to get her on here.
She's coming.
Oh!
She is coming. We're going to make it work.
That would be so interesting. So you know that when you sit in your club... Oh, let me ask you this then. So when you sit in your club, at both of these, so Bournemouth, Southampton, you two are the shit. You're the it girls. Yeah?
In Bournemouth. In Southampton, because I'm still like...
So you don't carry that attitude?
I try to, but
don't
Southampton is...
No,
of course not. No.
Yeah.
in Southampton, it's a lot more ruthless. Like,
Okay.
if you had a regular, obviously in Bournemouth, if your regular comes in and a girl stood up, you're like, oh, babe, like, that's my regular. Whereas if you were to say that to someone in Southampton, they'd be like, okay, well, he can tell me when it, like, he can tell me.
For sure.
If
And
he's his
I'm that
regular.
girl.
And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Like, now that they've told me that and I'm learning different things in Southampton that aren't done in Bournemouth, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what, fair enough. Like, that's something I'm now going to take under my wing. Like, if he's physically come in here for you, as soon as I sit at that table, he's going to turn around and say, oh, I'm here for so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to say in Bournemouth, thanks to Georgia, obviously without sounding
Shout
big-headed.
out, Georgia.
Shout out, Georgia. I feel like a top dog. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, yes, I have my shit nights where...
When you get new
everyone
girls
does.
coming to your club, you and your girls' club, are you nice? Do you want them there?
I think for conversations with me and Georgia, it's like someone going through you and your best friend's conversation.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a little nosy. We're like, obviously, if Georgia's got there before me, she's like, oh, did you see the girl in the changing rooms? Like, oh, this girl was in the changing rooms with me. And we try and suss them out. Obviously, we're always polite, but because obviously...
So the girl comes in, you're nice, hi, you alright?
Yeah.
That is so cute. That does not exist in London. That is so cute.
Really?
No,
Gonna get
girl,
ignored?
no.
Oh.
The first time I ever worked in a really, really hardcore strip club,
Yeah.
I was bullied.
Really?
Like, bullied by grown-ass women. And then, this is going to sound so rude, but you have to become the bully.
Yeah.
So it's like now we're all so fucking hard in that club. It's unbelievable. And you probably would come there and think that we're all bitches. It's not that,
No,
but
it's
you're
just
not going to
work.
stand a chance.
No, exactly.
Everyone
That's the
takes
thing.
each other's customer. As soon as a customer from VIP goes toilet, we're running at that door. We're waiting outside the toilet. Like,
Yeah. No,
that
that's the
is-
thing. It's like the way I like to think of myself is I'm nice until it comes to my money. Like, if a new girl is having I'm just, being polite, trying to get to know her. If there's a customer, I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to walk away in the middle of that conversation because at the end of the day, if I carry on chatting to you, I'm going to be here for hours. And before I know it, I'm going to be like, my manager's going to go, oh yeah, well, you owe me this much money because you didn't do this, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm always nice and polite. Because obviously, respect. Obviously, yes, in this industry, it's difficult. And I found that with Reading, actually. But yeah, when it comes down to my money, don't speak to me. Like, if Georgia's not there, tunnel vision. No one speaks to me. I'll sit on my own. I'll sit on my own table. I have my drink and I will wait till I work. And I won't speak to anyone unless it's my manager telling me I can leave early.
So if you could make any changes to the job, what would your changes be?
That's a tricky one.
No.
I feel like I'd have a handful, but off the top of my head...
Just give me 3.
I feel like... Oh my goodness. I
definitely anything.
I feel like the whole paying to come in late and leave early, I feel like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because obviously with Georgia's situation, she knows the rules and regulations now inside and out. And she's mentioned something along the lines of they're not actually allowed to do it. But obviously they still do. So I think like ridiculous fines like that are stupid.
So get rid of them, number 1.
Yeah. I feel like you should have, I don't know if people may disagree, but I'd rather prefer to go in, pay a house fee. Obviously, in some clubs it's 20, in some clubs it's 100 or whatever. I'd rather pay a larger house fee and have no commission taken off of my dances. Like, my cash is mine. Obviously, it wouldn't work anyway.
So,
that's in an ideal world.
So say you spend like £200 on house fee, but then all your money's your money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
I think that works better. Obviously, like there's some clubs where it's like they take commission off your card dancers, but your cash is yours. And another thing, I think it's gonna sound really silly, but no topless on stage.
Oh, 100%.
I refuse.
I mean, I don't go on stage. I've like sort of earned my right to not. That's just that's just not something that I do. But I agree with you. I think it's out of order that any girl has to do that.
Yeah.
I think that
I refuse.
I think that you girls shouldn't even go on the stage because it's not America.
Until you get paid.
If a guy was paying you to go on the stage, that's a different thing.
No, exactly.
So when they go on stage, there's no extra payment for... That's crazy. And they're getting topless. That's crazy.
You need to pay up.
Like,
if you want to see me doing anything like that, you gotta run the check up.
What do you mean? With my slot and tell me how much I'm getting paid for that slot. Not just go up on the stage.
Up there and show some titties. I'm okay.
It's not happening.
No.
Like, it's a no from me.
Yeah, I just think, and as it's if realistically, obviously they come in for, you know, certain things, and they've seen half of it
free.
already for free. Like, what is the point?
I agree with you, Molly. It was so lovely to have you
It's nice to
today.
have you.
We are sponsored by Halo, so if you just pick up a drink for me, that would be great. And the drinks are called Sin, so I need you to tell me a sin, a confession, a secret, something just to wrap up the podcast today.
A sin.
Anything. Give me a little something about you that's a little bit spicy that you haven't shared with us yet.
Oh, put me on the spot.
So just tell me a sin, a confession, anything a little bit spicy about you.
Funnily enough, I did a trial shift in London and met my boyfriend.
Okay, girl, we see you. Thank you, Molly.
No, that's okay. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
So yeah.
Oh, she's cute.
I think that was really insightful. I actually
real.
learned a little bit about the stripping industry because I didn't really know much about it. So it's really nice to see her perspective on things. She's a very well-spoken queen.
Very well spoken.
And she definitely sounds educated as well. I think she's a nice girl.
I mean, I've always thought about it, so good on her for going for it.
Right, you know, it's quite brave doing that as well. Like literally just putting your foot in the door and then boom, straight away, clients.
She said, as soon
shit.
as I turned 18.
Like, I'm out.
Let me get that bag.
That's funny, but no, I respect it. I respect it for sure.
If you like watching real podcasts and it don't get no realer than this, see you on the next episode.